up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today is a very exciting video. Today I am going to show you how to make your own wig. Yes, that's right, your own wig. So the first thing you're gonna need is some needles. I usually have a couple of needles, and you will see why. I have some tweezers, I have T-pins, and I have some thread. I also have a dome cap. It's like medium large dome cap, and lastly, I have a mannequin head, which is 22 inches mannequin head, which I've had for years. I've had this mannequin for years. I've started a business with this mannequin head. I've made money with this mannequin head. Me and this mannequin head go together real bad. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my dome cap on top of my mannequin head and adjust that to my liking. Make sure that is nice and tight and snatched. Now I am going to take the closure and put that on my unit. I only have 3 more T-pins left. Usually when you buy a pack, it has a lot in there, but I only had 3 more left. So I'm just gonna make it work. I'm gonna put 2 in the front and 1 in the back. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your closure and you're gonna put that about 1 inch away from the band. So we're gonna leave about a 1 inch gap, and then after I'm just gonna put a T-pin in there to hold everything in place. Once I have that first one down, I am just gonna go to the other side and do the same. Leave about that inch space in between the lace and the cap, where the hairline starts on the lace and where the cap starts. And I'm just gonna flip it over and pull that back as much as I can and put my last T-pin to secure it at the back of the closure. Once everything is adjusted with the T-pins to my liking, everything is secured, I am just going to take a rubber band and put a tie in that and just get it out the way so I can start sewing down the closure. So this is what it's looking like. Of course, like I said, if you have more T-pins, secure them more. Put more T-pins along the line so you could just secure the wig more, but I'm a professional. I could just work with 3, so I could do this. So the next step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thread my needles, and I have several needles, and I'm just gonna thread all that I have right now for the process to just go by seamless and quicker. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just gonna thread all 3 of my needles right now. So once we're done, we're gonna get to stitching. Now the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to put that needle through the lace of the closure and through the first layer of fabric on the dome cap. You do not want to go past the elastic because that will make your cap way too tight, way too small for your head. So again, through the lace and through the thin fabric on top of that elastic band. Do not put that needle through that elastic band. It will make your wig too tight. So I'm just gonna continue to just do a basic in and out sew. Like, I'm not doing no double threading. I'm not doing no special type of stitching. I am just doing a regular stitch, which has worked fine for me. I've been making my own wigs for over 10 years and I haven't had a problem with this stitching. It don't move. It don't move only if you want it to move, and I haven't had a problem. So you do what you want. I do what's been working for me. So I'm just gonna continue along stitching till I am done stitching the whole closure all the way around. So now that we have stitched everything up, at the end of the stitch, we are just going to double knot. I'm just gonna wrap the thread around the needle twice, and I am going to just knot that up as you're about to see. Twice, pull it, then I'm gonna cut it leave a little space so that I could tie it to just make a double knot to secure at the end. Then I'm going to take my 20-inch. I have 4 bundles of hair, 20, 18, 16, and 14. And I also have a 14-inch closure. So I'm just going to take the longest bundle and I'm going to start to work from that. So I am double wefting the back bundles. The 2 first bundles I am going to double weft. So this is what the hair is looking like. I'm not going to say where the hair is from because I really didn't enjoy the hair. So, I mean, it did what it had to do, but it wasn't my fave. So, this is just me pushing the needle through both wefts and trying to secure it so that way I could double weft. And you can single weft, you can do whatever you want, but this is how I do it. It gets through the bundles quicker, and I just prefer doing at least my first bundle as being double weft when I'm doing a wig. So I am just going to start around the halfway point in the cap where your ears would naturally start. That's where I like to put like my first track down at the back. So again, when you securing the tracks around the perimeter of the dome cap where the elastic band is, you want to be careful and do not sew into the cap. You want to sew above that thin layer of material above the elastic, so that way you won't get a tight cap. So I am just gonna follow the lines and I am just going to keep stitching all the way across. So when I get to the other ear and I want to work on the next row, I am going to flip the hair over my arm and I'm gonna flip the thread over to the next arm. So they're just going to switch positions, and I am just going to put the hair up, position it where I want it to go, and just keep stitching. So you just flip the hair up and you just keep stitching to get to the another row, and you're just gonna keep repeating that process until you are out of hair. It's very simple. You just lift the hair and you flip it to the other side and you start stitching so that the stitch can continue, so that way you won't cut your hair, and that could help with reducing the shedding of the wig doing it this way. Granted, you can cut your wefts. That's you. It's your unit. You do what you want. You could cut your wefts, but I typically don't. I just do the flip over and keep stitching. Once I get to that end of that bundle, I am going to double knot my thread so that way it could be nice and secured, and I'm just gonna cut off the excess for that. And there you have it. We have a bundle. Now we have those preloaded needles, and we're just gonna continue on with bundle number 2, and it's just the same back and forth, flip over, continue to fill the cap with the hair. So right here, I have to come back to this unit. So I think this is probably my 3rd bundle. And at this time, I am singling my weft. So it's just going to be, I'm not doubling, I'm singling. And as you can see, I'm getting a lot of snags in the hair, and just it's not cooperating as good as it was. But, you know, you keep going, keep going. So you're just going to sew that and just keep putting on all the bundles of the hair. It's such a simple process. It might just be a little tedious, but it's pretty simple. So we are coming up right onto the last bits and the last bundle of hair, and I'm just trying to attach everything as closely as possible because I'm trying to use up as much of the hair as possible, because I kind of want the look I'm going for to be a little bit fuller. So I'm just trying to put on as much bundles as I can, and I'm just gonna keep going and just getting those bundles closer and closer to that closure as possible. And you're just gonna keep doing that and working your way up until you get to the last track. Now for the final track, I am going to attach my needle to the closure itself and then to the final track and tie those together so that they can form one. And I am just going to continue to sew from the closure to the track, not necessarily from the closure to the material of the cap, but from the closure to the weft. So I'm just gonna work my way throughout the wig and just continue to sew that directly onto the closure and attach the last track to the closure itself. So this is what it's gonna look like, and yeah, we're just gonna continue that, and when we get to the end, tightly secure and double knot at the end and cut off the excess like we did all the previous tracks. So the next step would be just removing that from the mannequin head, and just like that, you have a wig. But the final step for this is just removing the material under the lace so that your lace could be free. So you should be able to stick your hands between the dome cap and your lace. There should be a free space where the entire lace is free and accessible. If you can't access your lace, then you did something wrong. But if you do have your space like you're supposed to, you're just going to take your scissors and you're just going to go along the lines and cut off that excess material so you could free your lace. You want to be very careful while you're doing this step as well, because you do not want to put any holes into your lace. You do not want to damage your lace in any way. So it's best to just take your time and do it a little slow. So that is how that is looking. And I went ahead and put clips in my wig after, but this is how the wig is. Your wig is basically complete. The next step would just be like brush it out and wash it, blow dry it, and then style. But that is how you complete your wig. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you like this video, please let me know. And I can't wait to see if you guys try to make your own wig. It is super easy. I hope this video is helpful. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.